Greetings from Aptitude Buster, and I welcome you all to the discussion on comprehension passages on CSAT 2020 question paper. Before I start the discussion, I'd like to start with the majority's mindset on comprehension questions. Generally, CSAT comprehension questions are considered untouchable. You may have your own reasons, and to an extent, they are valid. Primarily for two main reasons. It is considered untouchable. One is it consumes a great deal of time and you cannot afford to lose your time in a test situation. And the second thing is you never feel certain about answer choices. It creates a feeling of uncertainty when you try to read, understand and navigate through the answer choices. These are all usual obstacles, or I would say major challenges while answering comprehension questions. But I like to break this myth through a series of questions on all passages, not only on 2020 question paper, but on all CSAT editions. I'll make you understand CSAT comprehension questions can be solved in an average time of anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds. Perhaps the discussion may take time, but if you observe keenly, you will come to know that these questions can be answered in the time frame which I told you earlier, guys. You can pause the video if need be and you can read the passage, but I too will help you in reading and explaining what the passage is about. This passage says, over the last decade, labor has been shifting from agriculture and is going to construction and unregistered manufacturing. So the author begins the passage with an accusation that labor from agriculture is shifting to construction and unregistered manufacturing. Services where labor tends to be most productive are not generating the additional jobs the country needs. India will need 24 million or so jobs over the next decade. The new sector, e-commerce, can at best close only half the jobs gap. Only those sectors that drive domestic demand, such as health and education, can comfortably fill the other half. So it's largely a problem and solution template where the author at the beginning feels strongly that labor from agriculture is shifting to less better job segments like construction and unregistered manufacturing, where he makes an estimate first. India will need 24 million or so jobs over the next decade. E-commerce can at best close only half the jobs gap. So he is of the opinion that around 50% of the requirement can be met by e-commerce, whereas the other 50% can be generated from these two sectors, health and education. So this is what the author talks about. Let's go to the question. Which one of the following is best implied in the passage? The keyword in the question is imply. It's in past tense, best implied in the passage. I will give you a quick note. If you get any of these two words in the question, infer or imply, when it is phrased as a question, it will be phrased as the most logical inference, or you might be asked which of the following is best implied. Essentially, these two words mean the same. Please know the difference. The word imply means the author tries to convey a meaning indirectly, and the word infer means to understand the implied message. Whenever you come across any of these two words, infer or imply, the first indication is answer to this question is hidden. In other terms, you cannot expect an answer choice which carries a direct clue from the passage. You read the question, you come across a keyword as implied, and the moment you find the word implied, the direct indication is the answer is hidden to the question. So two things can be noted at this moment. When the answer is hidden, the first thing is you will eliminate the answer choices which carry direct clues from the passage, and depending upon the time factor, you can decide whether you need to work on the question or not. Let's start with answer choice A. Answer choice A says strong measures need to be taken to reduce the rural to urban migration of labor. If need be, you can go back to the passage and you will find out nowhere the author talks about measures to be taken to reduce the migration. So this is out of context. Option A can be eliminated because option A is out of context. It has not been discussed in the passage. Option B, the working condition in construction and unregistered manufacturing needs to be improved. Look closer, you can hit on two clues. Just now I said the keyword of the question is implied. Thereby, if any answer choices carry any direct clues from the passage, can simply eliminate. So structurally, just by looking at implied as a keyword, you can very easily eliminate answer choice B because option B carries a direct reference structure-wise. Even content-wise, has author discussed working conditions? No, he hasn't. Option D can be eliminated. Look at option C. Service sector has been reducing the problem of unemployment. Sort of direct reference. If you look at the second sentence of the passage, services where labor tends to be most productive are not generating the additional jobs the country needs. So the author has clearly said service sector is not generating additional jobs, which means certainly we can't say this reduces the problem of unemployment. Option C contradicts what the author has said. So we're very sure the first three choices have been eliminated. D must be the right choice. Since we are in the discussion mode, you can validate how D is right. Look at option D. Increased social sector spending is imperative for large-scale job creation. Which means, yes, towards the end of the passage, the author says for an estimate of 24 million jobs needed for the next decade, e-commerce can fill half the jobs gap, and the other two sectors, health and education, can comfortably fill the other half. If those two sectors need to generate the required jobs, increased social sector spending is an imperative. Option D is the answer for this question.